Hello guys, so today what we're going to be working with is we are going to be working with value, and we are going to be using value to help kind of make a candy cane. If you wanted to try a different candy, you can, like a lollipop, but I thought we'd stick with something sweet today, and let's get started. So for today, all you're going to need is a piece of paper, some coloring pencils or crayons if you have them, a paper towel. I'll show you what we'll do with that in just a second. And then that's it pretty much. You may want to start out with a pencil and an eraser just in case you mess up, but let's get started. So today I said we're working with the word value. So value means that when you're talking about value, you're talking about from where it goes light to dark or dark to light. So you're just talking about the range of tints and shades that you see. So if you take a color like green and you add white to it, it would be a tint. And if you took the color green and you added black to it, it would be a shade. So right here we have a tint, the regular color green, and then a shade. And so value is just looking for that range of color from light to dark. And this is gonna help it make our drawings look more realistic and kind of add this like aspect of like light shining on it or something reflective. Okay, so I'm gonna set this guy to the side and let's get started. So the first thing that you need to do is just to get your pencil and start drawing out your shape. I would make sure you have an eraser just in case you mess up and you want to fix it. But really, you're just going to draw an upside down J. You could do it backwards. You could flip it. It is up to you. There's no real wrong way to do it. And then you draw another one and just connect it and bring it down. So you could leave it super skinny if you want. I want mine a little thicker, so I'm going to draw a little line this way and make it thicker. Okay, and then I'm gonna see about erasing my line. Make sure that you're drawing light so you can erase most of your marks, and that may make things a little easier for you. Okay, so now that we have our candy cane drawn, our upside down J or hook, you're gonna take your pencil, and on this one what I did is I tried to go along the lines, right? A candy cane is rounded, and so a good way of trying to make this look realistic is if you take your pencil and you kind of make a rounded mark, a rounded line. That one may be too far, but that's okay. More rounded, and it's more of a swooping thing with your hand, to where it looks like it's wrapping around it. If you went over the lines or anything, that's okay. Just go ahead and you can erase it. Okay, so now that we have this part, we're gonna start with drawing where our light is. And I did mine on the middle. If you wanted to try and put it over here, you could, but just think about how that would kind of reflect it. I'm gonna stick with something simple and keep it in the middle. Okay, so I'm gonna take my white, and if you press down, you could be able to see it as you go up. And this is just to help get some like good thick lines started. And we put the white down first just in case we accidentally go over it. It'll help prevent it from being like super dark or anything as we do it. You can see some of my grays starting to blend into it a little bit. That's okay. And just like our swooping motion, as you go along the curve of the candy cane, you're gonna try and make sure that your white kind of goes with it. You could make it bigger, you could make it smaller, however much light you wanna put on it. You can turn your paper if you need to, so mine's right here. I'm gonna keep swooping. May start over here and make it neat. And you notice I'm going from side to side. I'm not going like this. I'm going side to side to help get that good color. I'm trying to stay in between these two lines, going from one line to, not to the full line, I'm still in the middle, but like from this finger to this finger. Okay, so the next thing that you're gonna do after you get your white kind of going, you're gonna pick out whatever color you want your candy canes to be. I'm gonna stick with doing an alternating blue. So I'm gonna do like a light blue, then a dark, light, blue, dark. You could do 3 colors, however many you want. I'm gonna start up here so you can kind of see it a little bit better. And I am gonna go on either side of that white. I'm gonna lightly kind of color. Sometimes I'll go into the white, but not a lot. And I'm barely pushing down with my pencil, almost gliding across the paper. And you're doing that on both sides of your white, wherever you decided to put your white. Okay. And then after you do that, you're gonna press down a little harder for the sides. If you end up drawing over it, that's okay. You could always cut it out at the end. Pressing harder along the side so it blends in with that blue. If I don't like something, you could try and go back over with a pencil to kind of lighten it a little if you need to. Your pencil can be, or your eraser can be a drawing tool too. It's one of the best ones, I think, sometimes. Okay. And then I may go even back over it again and make them a little rougher or a little more in depth as I go. What you can also do is if you want it really dark, you could always put black, lightly draw black over it, and then go back over with your blue or whatever color that you're doing. I decided to do blue because I was thinking of Thrasher colors, but it is up to you. And I'm still going side to side. I'm not going up and down, I'm going side to side to keep those colors even. So then when you get your colors, you notice it still kind of looks kind of harsh. Normally artists would use this piece of paper tool that is called a blending stump, and they would take it and they would kind of smooth out some of those colors together. They may draw some lines back through it to kind of help blend it. What you can do if you don't have a blending stump, and no worries, I didn't have one until I was in college almost, because I didn't use them. You can take a paper towel and then cut it in half, tear it in half, whatever you need, and you're gonna roll it. Roll it. And once you roll it, you can fold it over and use that fold as your blending stump. And you'll just go side to side like you did. And it'll start blending your colors together. You still may have to go over them to add some more dark to it as you go. And then you would do the rest for all of them. I'm gonna switch colors and do a light one. Always start out with your colors light because it's easier to go lighter than darker than it is to try and come back from it being too dark. Sometimes you can't get those eraser marks up after, or those pencil marks up with an eraser afterwards. Turning my paper as I need to try and get it to go. Bearing down harder on the sides after I've done light, medium, dark. Bearing down darker or harder for the dark ones. So one trick you can do if you don't want to do black, like this color may be too dark, you could try and get like a gray and go over it with a gray to help get that color, or you could do like that blue behind it and then layer on top of it. So you're just coloring over to help get the sides to be a little darker. And that's what you would continue to do. Use your blending stump. I'm gonna fold mine over so the color from before isn't matched up. Blending it in. As we go, I decided I need more into that white so it's not so big, so I'm coloring directly over the white, and then I may use my finger or my blending stump to try and blend it in. You guys would just alternate colors, so dark blue, light blue, whatever colors you were wanting to do with yours. And that's pretty much today. So we're working on values. If you want to try and make these colors stand out more, blue would probably stand out pretty good on this one, but for this one, the white blended into my background, so I cut it out. You could put it on a new piece of paper or color the background. You could even cut it out and decorate it if you wanted. It is up to you. I'm gonna finish mine real quick and then come back so you guys can kind of see what it looks like when this one's finished. Alrighty, and here is my finished piece. I'm gonna go ahead and blend some pieces that didn't finish blending out. With this project, really, it takes time to build value. It takes time to lighten it up. Like I said, you start from really light and then you get to your dark. And if it doesn't look dark enough, you can go back in with either a brown or a gray, or a black, a gray. You could do a brown even. You could do a darker color like what I did right here. And whenever you do that and you keep layering up and covering it up, it's gonna look a lot stronger. So even if you think oh, I'm good, I'm gonna stop, add a little bit more color and see if it changes a little bit. Projects like this always look better the more time and care that you put into it. Like I said, you could leave it, you could cut it out, you could give it to someone. It is up to you. That's my finished piece. I'm excited to see everyone's. Other than that, have a good day, guys.